It starts innocently enough. You buy a nicer couch because the old one was sagging. It arrives, and it looks great, but suddenly, your old rug looks cheap next to it. It's dirty. It doesn't match the vibe. So you upgrade the rug, but now the coffee table looks like garbage. Then the TV stand looks small. Then the lighting feels harsh. 2 months later, your living room looks like a Pinterest board. And your bank account looks like a crime scene. If you've ever stared at a credit card bill thinking, I only wanted a couch, this video is for you. When I was 24, I bought a single laptop that triggered a psychological domino effect that kept me broke for 3 years. It's called the Diderot Effect. Most people have never heard of it, but if you are struggling to save money despite making a decent income, I guarantee you, this is the invisible trap that is hunting you right now. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how this spiral works and the psychological firewall I built to finally stop it. So let's get real for a second. We like to think we make financial decisions based on math. We think, I have X dollars, this costs Y dollars, I can afford it. But that's a lie. We don't buy things, we buy identity. The Diderot effect is named after a French philosopher, Denis Diderot. The story goes that he was broke most of his life. Then his daughter got married, and the Empress of Russia bought his library for a fortune. Suddenly, Diderot had cash. He bought himself a beautiful scarlet robe. It was luxurious, it was elegant. But then he looked around his apartment. He saw his old chair, his dusty desk, his raggedy wall hangings. He wrote that there was no more coordination, no more unity, no more beauty between his robe and the rest of his stuff. The robe was an intruder. So, what did he do? He replaced his old straw chair with a leather one. He replaced his desk. He bought expensive prints for the walls. He upgraded his entire environment to match the robe. And in the end, he was broke again. He wrote an essay called Regrets on Parting with My Old Dressing Gown. In it, he said, I was the absolute master of my old dressing gown, but I have become a slave to my new one. That right there? That is the trap. I have become a slave to my new one. We think upgrades are freedom. But often an upgrade is just a commitment to a higher baseline of spending that you can never walk away from. Let me tell you about the time I became a slave to a Honda Civic. I was 26. I was driving a beat-up sedan. The AC worked, sometimes. The window crank was jammed, but it ran. It was paid off. But then I got a raise. And like a lot of young guys, I thought, I'm a professional now. I can't be rolling up to client meetings in a car that smells like old gym socks. So I upgraded. I didn't even go crazy. I got a newer certified pre-owned car. Leather seats, Bluetooth, sunroof. Responsible, right? Here's what I didn't account for. The old car? I took it to the cheap car wash at the gas station. $5, done. The new car? The paint was pristine. I couldn't scratch it with those cheap brushes. So I started going to the hand wash place. $25 a pop. The old car? I parked it on the street, who cares? The new car? I was paranoid about dings. So I started paying for the garage at work. $150 a month. The old car? I put the cheapest unleaded gas in it. The new car? The manual recommended premium. So I convinced myself I want this engine to last and started pumping premium. Then came the accessories. Better floor mats, a better phone mount, a specialized cleaning kit for the leather seats. 6 months later, I looked at my budget. The car payment was $350. But the lifestyle cost of that car was another $300 a month. I wasn't just driving a nicer car, I had become a car guy. And car guys spend money to maintain their identity. This is what financial gurus don't teach you. They tell you to look at the sticker price. But the sticker price is just the entry fee. The real cost is the identity tax. I want you to think about the last time you leveled up in life. Maybe you moved into a nicer apartment. Maybe you got a gym membership at that fancy club with the eucalyptus towels. Maybe you started dating someone who has expensive taste. The Diderot effect thrives on inconsistency. Psychologically, we hate it when things don't match. It's called cognitive dissonance. If you're wearing a $500 suit, you feel ridiculous wearing a $10 plastic watch. If you have a $2,000 MacBook Pro, you feel weird putting it on a $40 folding card table. I once worked with a guy. Let's call him Mike. Mike was smart. He was an engineer. He made good money. Mike decided he wanted to get into cycling. He bought a bike. Nothing crazy, maybe $600. But then he went on a group ride. He saw the other guys. They had the spandex kits, the clip-in shoes, the aerodynamic helmets, the Garmin's mounted on the handlebars. Mike felt like an imposter. He told me I felt like a kid on a tricycle. So Mike went shopping. New shoes, $150. New pedals, $100. Bib shorts, the expensive ones, $200. Jersey, $120. Computer, $300. Then he realized his bike was heavy compared to the other guys. So 6 months later, he sold the $600 bike at a loss and bought a $3,000 carbon fiber bike. He spent nearly $5,000 in his first year of cycling. And guess what? 2 years later, the bike is collecting dust in his garage. He didn't buy a hobby. He bought the costume of a cyclist because he wanted to feel like he belonged. We do this with everything. We buy the executive costume. We buy the cool parent costume. We buy the fitness influencer costume. And the scary part is, we tell ourselves it's investing in ourselves. I need this gear to get fit. I need these clothes to get promoted. Bullshit. I was broke because I was buying props for a movie where I was playing the star, instead of actually building wealth behind the scenes. So, why can't we just stop? Why can't we just buy the nice couch and keep the ugly rug? Because your brain is wired for pattern matching. When you introduce a high-status item into a low-status environment, your brain screams at you to resolve the tension. It feels like wearing a tuxedo to McDonald's. It's uncomfortable. I remember when I moved into my first luxury apartment building. It had a doorman, a marble lobby. I walked in with my beat-up gym bag and my worn-out sneakers, and I physically felt shame. I felt like the doorman knew I didn't belong. So what did I do? I went to the mall that weekend. I bought nicer casual clothes, not for work, just to walk through my own lobby. That is insane, but it's human. The Diderot Effect weaponizes your insecurity. It whispers, "You're almost there. You just need this one last thing to complete the picture." But the picture is never complete. That's the spiral. There is always a better rug. There is always a better watch. There is always a better car. And if you are waiting for the moment where you finally feel done, where you finally feel like your stuff is good enough, you will be waiting until you are bankrupt. Okay, enough doom and gloom. How do we fix this? Because I'm not going to sit here and tell you to live in a cardboard box. I like nice things. I have a nice phone. I have a comfortable chair. I drink good coffee. The goal isn't to live like a monk. The goal is to contain the infection. After my car fiasco and my apartment spiral, I developed a system. I call it the Upgrade Firewall. It has 3 rules, and I promise you, if you follow these, you can buy nice things without going broke. Rule number 1, the downgrade test. Before I upgrade anything, a phone, a car, a laptop, I ask myself this question. If I had to go back to the version I used 5 years ago, would I actually be less productive or just less cool? If I went back to an iPhone 8 right now, honestly, my life would be fine. I could still text, call, email, and watch YouTube. The only thing that would suffer is my ego. If the answer is it's just ego, I delay the purchase for 30 days. Usually the urge dies. Rule number 2. The total cost of ownership calculation. Most people look at the price tag. I look at the ecosystem. If I want to buy a new gaming console, $500, I force myself to write down everything else that comes with it. Extra controller, $60. Online subscription, $60 per year. 3 games, $210. Headset, $100. The console isn't $500, it's nearly $1,000. When I wanted to buy a dog, the ultimate Diderot effect, I didn't just look at the adoption fee, vet bills, food, toys, the pet deposit at my apartment, $500. The inevitable chewed-up shoes, $100. When you see the whole iceberg, not just the tip, it's a lot easier to say no or not yet. Rule number 3, the zero-sum upgrade. This is the nuclear option. This is what saved me. If I want to buy a new identity item, something that upgrades my lifestyle, I have to sell the old one first, or cut something else out. I don't add, I replace. When I wanted the new noise-canceling headphones, $350, I told myself, okay, Sam, you can have them, but you have to sell your old ones and your old Bluetooth speaker on eBay first to cover at least 50% of the cost. You know what happened? I was too lazy to list them on eBay, which meant I didn't actually want the new headphones that bad. I just wanted the dopamine hit of buying them. This rule forces you to prove to yourself that you actually value the upgrade, not just the shopping spree. There is one exception to the Diderot effect. And this is my favorite strategy. It's called one nice thing. Instead of trying to upgrade your whole life to match a luxury standard, pick one category where you go world class and be ruthlessly cheap everywhere else. I have a friend who is a coffee snob. He has a $3,000 espresso machine. It's a work of art. But he drives a 2012 Toyota. He wears t-shirts from Target. His couch is from IKEA. He didn't let the espresso machine dictate his furniture. He compartmentalized it. I am a guy who loves coffee. I am not a guy who needs a luxury lifestyle. For me, it's my computer. I spend good money on tech because I work on it 10 hours a day. But my car, it's basic. My clothes, basic. My watch, a cheap Casio. When you choose your one nice thing, you take back control. You are saying, I decide what matters, not the marketing department at Apple. Not my neighbors, me. Look, I'll be honest with you. Even making this video, I felt the pull. I set up the camera and I thought, man, this lighting looks kind of flat. Maybe I should buy a new softbox. Maybe I need a better lens. It never goes away. The voice that says you're not enough is always there. But now I recognize it. I know that a new lens won't make my advice better. I know that a new suit won't make me smarter. I know that a luxury car won't make me happy. It'll just make me stressed about parking. We are living in a world designed to make you dissatisfied. Every ad, every Instagram post, every unboxing video is engineered to trigger the Diderot effect. They want you to feel incomplete, because incomplete people spend money. The most rebellious thing you can do, the best financial move you will ever make, is to look at your mismatched furniture, your slightly outdated phone, and your old car, and say, this is enough. I am enough. Because the second you stop trying to upgrade your identity, you can start upgrading your bank account. And trust me, financial freedom feels a hell of a lot better than a new leather couch. If you've ever fallen into the Diderot trap, tell me in the comments. What was the one purchase that started the spiral for you? Was it a car, a house, a wedding? I read every comment because, honestly, it makes me feel better knowing I'm not the only one who bought a $50 candle because it matched the bathroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more financial education. That actually hurts a little bit. I'm Sam. See you next time.